Okay, so for another wedding idea, my daughter is doing an elopement package, but I still want to, do little things to make it special. So I am going to I bought these styrofoam toppers, and this is a smaller size one. So I'm going to make stack these, and then I'm going to have a real cake on the bottom, hopefully, if I can get one when we get to where we're going. Um, which is going to be Whistler in this case. So what I'm going to do is I was going to buy fondant and use the fondant, but it's really quite expensive. Like a tub of it was like 22 bucks. So instead I'm going to use natural, it says it's white modeling clay. So I'm just going to roll this out. I'm just using anything I have. You can, this is like a roll. I don't want to use my regular rolling pin. You're supposed to roll this out to about a 1/4 inch thick normally. So I'm gonna try and do that. See if I can. Okay, I'm gonna do the small one first because I don't have enough. And what I'll do is for the next one, I'm gonna use maybe a package and a half. This one was one full package that I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to go like this and just drape it over. Okay. So, and then I'm going to try and smooth this down. Okay, so once you've rolled it out and put it around, you can end up with something like this, okay? And you can keep doing it until you get it as smooth as you can possibly get it. And you can like even roll it back and forth here, because I see that somehow I picked up a little piece there. And I want to smooth that out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Smooth that out a bit. Okay. So you can roll it like that. And press it around the edges here. And then if you want to, you can even take your rolling pin and roll it flat like this while you're doing it. All right, so there you go. You've got one done. Now you can go and do the second one. And then later on, when this dries and I get some icing, I'll do some like designs around on it. So another thing you can do if you want to is get a little flower mold and press your clay into there and make yourself little roses. Of course, if you know how to make roses with icing, you can also do that. I do want to share a little tip here with doing this is because the clay is quite heavy when you go to drape it over. I've actually found it easier, especially on the second base, to do a circle on the top with just a little bit of overhang, like to about there. Then do a long round piece and put it on, and then you can smush together the lines in the middle here. And using water, a little bit of water on your finger also really helps for smoothing out areas if you need to. I wasn't too worried about the top of this one because the other piece is gonna mostly be covering the top anyways. But yeah, you can do that. And if you get any cracks as it's drying, you can take a little bit of leftover clay, put a lot of water on it, make it really mushy, and then you can fill it in the cracks. Okay, so I had a little bit of issue with my clay getting some cracks in it because I decided to put it outside in 30-degree weather. It was really hot, and I think maybe it was drying it too fast. So I have put this Snow Tech over top. And next I'm going to put some Mod Podge glitter on it to help seal everything. If you don't have this and you have that spackling, that really lightweight stuff for filling holes, that would work really well. And then I also painted some of this glitter Mod Podge. Mod Podge? Yeah. On the little roses, which I'll probably be putting around. So I started thinking that I'm a little bit worried about the 2 tiers possibly being too heavy, depending on what cake I get. And I still don't know if I have to find one when I get up to Whistler for the bottom layer. So I want to have something that I could always stick through the cake so that the cake itself won't get squished. And we're leaving tomorrow, so I really haven't had time. I checked a couple dollar stores looking for some sort of cake stand, and I couldn't find anything. But at home, I do have this thing that is for putting pens in. And so I've taken it apart, and I thought, oh, this is the perfect size. So, and the legs come off, if I can get them off without breaking them here. So I can, or if I don't want to use them, I don't have to use them. But now I've hot glued this onto the base of this, and then it gives me the option if I need legs or not. And I also was thinking about the icing that I was going to add when I get there, and I'm just worried that there's just not going to be enough time, or even if I did do it in advance, what if it melts because it's going to be hot? So I did get some of this featherweight spackling today, and I am going to make a trim with that. I also decided I want to make like a little tag here. I used my Cricut machine to cut out it in HTV, and then I'm going to iron it on here when I have time. And so I'm going to have a little tag. So right now I'm going to see how this spackling will work. Okay, so this spackling here, if you get it and it's a little bit thick like it was on over here, you can just add a little bit, a few drops of water, and then it'll make it more like the consistency of icing. And also it starts off pink, and when it dries it'll be white. So I put some in a Ziploc bag, here with just a regular icing tip, and now I'm going along the bottom here. Adjust this here. And if you happen to have one of these rotating things, it really helps while you're doing this. Alright, so there we go. That one went a little bit blobby. But I think this is going to be the back anyways. Now if I had this spackling yesterday, I could have done it instead of using up all my snow stuff on there. But anyways, that part's done. Okay, I think this is mostly dry now, and I just wanted to show you that it did change from pink to a white. It's a different color white than the rest of the cake, but maybe it's still drying a little bit. But I am going to be doing a lot more to this and be adding stuff to this. So in the meantime, this is a very good base to work off of. And once I decorate it all up, that'll be when I get up to Whistler. I will take some pictures to show you what it looked like. Okay, so I just wanted to do a little update here. I am adding the finishing touches to this in the closet in the place we're staying at in Whistler, because obviously I'm trying to do it without somebody seeing it. So I'm sorry the lighting's not that great in here, but basically I've added some pearls and some, I've got a groom and a bride there. And then I added I just finished hot gluing some of these flowers I made. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good. I was able to pick up, luckily, I found a white Dairy Queen cake. So that'll be the bottom layer tomorrow. But it's in the freezer, of course. So yeah, and then I'm thinking about putting maybe this little tag right there. And yeah, it should be good, I think.